I've been doing this all my life. Growing up in the United Kingdom, in England, my dad was Irish, so we had that whole Irish sensibility and love of the arts. And it was understated, but it was always there. When I was younger, I didn't know you could actually work in the arts, so we had to do other things. And so I did that for a while. But when we moved to Washington State, I got back into the arts world and actually got into the festival world, creating festivals and putting on shows and being on the presenting side of things. I then moved to administration on the regional level as the director of Arts Northwest, and then 9 years ago to the state level, working with the Arts Commission. So many years, and I've loved every minute. And I think in many ways, I feel like I come out of the trenches, so I've been on the other side. So for our grantees and our constituents, whether they're receiving a grant or maybe they're part of a creative district that we've certified, or they're part of our wellness, arts, and the military program, or part of our new tribal cultural affairs program. On the other side, when you're receiving those kinds of services that we're offering, or you're coming to try and get a grant from us, I've been in pretty much all those situations. So, one of the things we've tried to do is really streamline and open up our channels to our constituents so that life is as easy as possible for them. We see them as partners rather than people coming and asking for a grant. So we're there to support every aspect of arts and creativity in our state. And, I find it's just very helpful to have been there and done that in many cases, so I fully understand where people are coming from. And I think my team, which is really, the people who do all the work, they have that same understanding as well, which is, I think, makes us an effective agency. Well, I think advocacy itself is really critical. I've always believed in whoever you are, whatever you're doing, you should be advocating for the industry you've chosen. In our case, it's the arts and the creative sector. And it's not necessarily understood by everyone. So advocating is really educating in most cases. So we do that at the state level, but I'm also really committed to doing it at the federal level. And that's where Americans for the Arts comes in, as our national advocacy body, working in harmony with people and organizations like the National Assembly for State Arts Agencies. It provides a strong voice here in Washington, D.C., a strong voice on the Hill when we're looking for reasonable allotments to the National Endowment for the Arts or Humanities and so on. So, I see Americans for the Arts as, the people who are right there on the ground in Washington, D.C., the people who can provide me information when I need it, good data and so on. So, I see us as a nice partnership. But Americans for the Arts and there aren't very many national bodies that advocate on the Hill, but they are one of them. And they're really important as a result. So, I appreciate all the services they offer. And certainly for my Irish dad, my English mom too was very, very connected to the arts. But early on, I think in high school, I took up presenting, mostly because we had to make money for something or other. I forget what, but I suggested, let's put on a concert. I had no idea how to do that, but that doesn't really stop you when you're a teenager. So we did that. And I was the main organizer of a particular concert. But the thing that got me, I think, was when I saw the artist connect with the audience and that kind of magic that happens when you have live performance on stage and the audience is right there with you. It's just a magical experience. And it's something that only the arts can do, I believe. It's different to almost anything else. So that was the sort of first moment when I really fully understood the power of the arts, I think. And it sort of went on from there. So I've been a lover of the arts, a lover of connecting audiences with any discipline within the artistic mediums. And then more recently, the creative economy, the power of the arts to offer healing, for example, with the military or with traumatized populations. The power of the arts to bridge cultural divides. The arts are powerful on so many levels. There's almost nowhere that the arts don't fit in. And I think the more I work in this field, the more passionate I become about it. If I ever stop being passionate, that might be the time to hang up my boots and go home. But it doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon.